Hello and welcome to part 2 of the Getting Started walkthrough from Codecademy, brought to you by Tech Tutorials by Kyle. And now, it's telling us about comments, which we do with double slashes. It makes it easier for humans to read. Okay, and we see an example here. Alright, so now we are introduced to arrays, which is a way to store several different numbers, as we see here. Numbers equals square bracket, and then you separate the numbers with commas, ended with a semicolon. So now try running a line that will set the value of a variable called number to the third number. So we have number equals numbers, and now remember it's similar to the substring method. It starts with 0, then 1, then 2, so the third number is actually 2, so numbers square bracket 2. Okay. Time to make your own. Create an array named numbers using the format and fill it with numbers 1, 2, and 3. So var numbers is equal to square bracket 1, comma 2, comma 3. Okay. And we can also access, for instance, if we like to make an array called days and store Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday in that respective order, we're going to go var days equal to Monday, remember in quotation marks since it's a string, comma Tuesday, comma Wednesday. Alright. Now we're introduced to if statements, and the syntax of an if statement is if, and then you're going to type into statements, and if that is true, then we're going to go curly brace, and we're going to do whatever is inside the curly braces. So as we see here, the statement that we are looking to be true is number is equal to 7. Notice the triple equal sign, we'll get into that later. And at first this was 10, and since that makes this false, it just skips over the if statement. So we change it to 7 to make it true, and it's going to print out 7. Alright, and then we've had an else statement, which if the first statement is proved false, then it will do whatever's inside the else. So as we see here, the name is Joe, and since that is not equal to Sam, we skip over into the else statement. It says our name isn't Sam. Now we'll get the user's name to see an if-else statement in action. So first we have to declare the name, var name, prompt for the user's name. Name is equal to prompt, what is your name? And then we're going to have an if statement here. If the name is equal to Sam, your name is Sam, else your name isn't Sam. Alright, it'll say your name is Sam. And now add more than one condition. So now we have else if statements, which are used when you're going to deal with several different situations instead of just two. This is similar to a switch statement, which we're going to get into in a later course. So basically, it's going to check a couple times here, and then this is called the default statement. So if all of this falls through, proves false, then this will be our default statement. Okay, I guess I'm thinking of a number between 1 and 10. 5. You're way off. So if the number is 7, it'll print out you got it. If the number is 6, it'll say try guessing a little higher. But any other number, it'll say you're way off, which is what we got here. All equals are not equal. I noticed earlier, 1 equal sign is used for assigning values to a variable, and 3 equal signs is used for comparing variables. It says here double equal signs can have some odd behavior, so it's always good to use 3 equal signs. Alright, so we would just get to change this to that to make this true, so we'll print that out. And we can also use greater than or less than. Then we also have exclamation point equals equals, which is basically not equal to. Then we also have greater than or equal to and less than or equal to, which we just do the sign and then equals. Fix the statement above, so it says greater than 5 if number is greater than 5. So we put the greater than sign, less than sign here. 7, so it should show your number is greater than 5, okay? Formatting your code is really important, which is very true. It's very important that you make your code easier to read for other humans, just so they can learn what is going on instead of just seeing like this could be typed like this. It'll still have the same effect, but it just looks weird for humans. Okay? Type in yes. Next lesson. So now we're introduced to increments. So we basically just take, if we want to add 1 to I, we can just do I plus plus, which is just another way of saying I is equal to I plus 1. Alright? And then we have the similar thing with minus, it's just minus minus instead. Okay? A new structure called the for loop. Again, if you watched my Java videos before, this should be nice and easy, nice and familiar. If not, here's the syntax. Type in for, and then first we're going to initialize a variable, and then the condition at which the loop will run until, and then we have the increment. So, as we see here, here's initializing the variable to 0, and then the loop is going to run while the variable is less than 2, and then we increment with 1. Right? And we see what it prints out there. And we want to write a for loop that counts from 2 to 0. So we start initialize a variable 2, and then since we want it to stop at 0, while I is less, so this loop is going to run while I is not equal to 0, and then we're decrementing it by 1. So I minus minus. Alright, so while loops are pretty much the same idea. I think they're a little bit easier, and they're also more flexible, because you really only have to do one statement. So it's basically just the second statement that you're using with the for loop. It's just the statement at which you'll do the loop until that condition is met. So this loop will go until this proves false. So once I is equal to 2, per se. So it'll run twice. 0 and then 1. And then now it says create a while loop that prints out hello twice. So we initialize the variable to 0 while times is less than 2. Excuse me. Console.log hello, and then increment it by 1. Hello twice. Now notice here, it won't ever run because the condition times is greater than 0 and times is less than 3 is never true, because times is 0. And basically what these two ampersands mean, or two and symbols mean, is that both of these statements have to be true for the whole statement to evaluate as true. So since the first one is false, it just skips the second one, and the overall statement is evaluated to false. And as we see here, 0 is not greater than 0, so this isn't going to run at all. Change the while condition so that this do while loop is used when you want the code to be run at least once, no matter if the statement is true or false. So that's what a do while loop is for. So we're going to initialize a variable I is equal to 0, do, and then we're going to say this is iteration, the number plus 1, and then we're going to increment it by 1, and then while I is less than 4. Alright, that's the end of this course. Remember to rate, comment, and subscribe, and check out my website in the description. Thank you.